Diamond, CEO of JP Morgan Chase, had the nerve to call Bitcoin fraud. His own firm is among the world's worst scammers, having a track record of cheating their customers, squeezing Uncle Sam for bailout funds at the expense of taxpayers' money, and dishing out insane bonuses to the head gang of this criminal enterprise. Jamie even joked about his own daughter buying Bitcoin like women can't make sound financial decisions, comparing her to the herd.
My daughter bought some Bitcoin and it went up and she thinks she's a genius now.
On top of that, this hypocrite compared Bitcoin to the tulip mania, while his own bank orchestrated the worst tulip mania in recent memory through subprime lending. And he had the audacity to threaten to fire any trader who buys Bitcoin, but he has no problem promoting and hiring individuals with zero integrity who are willing to manipulate the price of silver and gold all day long. This is from a man who leads an organization that is a seed investor in Ethereum and has high-ranking representatives in all major blockchain conferences. Blockchain technology is disrupting the financial services industry, and Jamie knows it and dreads it. Nasdaq is running test trials using it. Australia, Japan, and Germany are all prototyping blockchain services for their stock exchanges. TMX in Canada is already using blockchain for oil and gas contract trading. The blockchain is a single source of truth because it can't be tampered with and validates itself in real time. Up until now, there was no way to gain exposure to both the blockchain investment potential and cryptocurrencies using one specific investment strategy. Now, not only can you get leverage to cryptocurrencies, but on top of that, investors can get access to the best opportunities in blockchain by owning one publicly traded company that is about to become, as I see it, the world's first global blockchain dominator. Go to wealthresearchgroup.com/must for a complete overview of this newly listed business. Welcome to the Rise of Cryptocurrencies show. This is Lior Gans with Wealth Research Group. I'm joined by a true entrepreneur, a visionary. Charles Lee is the founder of Litecoin, one of the most successful cryptocurrencies on the planet. It has a market cap of about $2.7 billion and a price of $51 per coin at the time of this recording. Charles, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. I couldn't be more humbled and privileged to have you on. Charles, Litecoin was released for the first time on October 7th, 2011. We're almost reaching the 6-year anniversary here. But when did you start developing and working on it? How much work and time behind the scenes does a cryptocurrency, when it's built correctly, like Litecoin, how much time does it require? How much, skill, talent, people, going back and forth? Is this like building a startup business, basically?
Kind of. I mean, creating a new cryptocurrency is not hard technically. Most of the code is already there, right? It's a forking of Bitcoin or Litecoin and just adding your own twist to it. What's hard is to actually trying to do it right. So with Litecoin, I learned from past mistakes of other altcoins before that and pretty much try to create a much better altcoin compared to all the other ones and try to create in a fair way. And doing all that and doing that well and building up the community is not easy.
Understood. Now, how did you get introduced to cryptocurrencies in the first place?
It was early 2011. I read an article in the Wired about Bitcoin and Silk Road, the drug marketplace, and how Bitcoin is the only currency accepted. And pretty much then I realized the potential of Bitcoin, the powerfulness of the uncensorable payments, and Bitcoin as kind of a digital gold equivalent. So back in early 2011, I got introduced to Bitcoin, and that was it.
What did you do prior?
I was at Google. I've worked at Google for 6 years on YouTube mobile, Chrome OS, and play games. And before that, mostly all software related jobs.
Charles, what is it about cryptocurrencies that caught the eye of millions of people worldwide? It's not a national phenomenon. It's a phenomenon that is pretty much global. And what do you think, or what's the feedback that you get about the passion that people have for cryptocurrencies?
I think the power of cryptocurrency is the idea of freedom of money. The internet brought about freedom of information, and I think what cryptocurrency brings is freedom of money. It's the fact that you can now spend money without asking for permission. One example I like to give is WikiLeaks. It's something that the government decided that you cannot donate money via Visa or bank accounts to, but WikiLeaks accept Bitcoin and Litecoin, so you can freely donate Bitcoin and Litecoin to them, which is as good as money, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop you from donating money to them, and that's powerful.
It is powerful. I love the fact that you can do this without permission. It's one of the attributes that attracted me in the first place to become involved myself. What is the potential? I'm sorry, let me ask you this before. The people who own Litecoin today, who own Litecoins, do they transact with it, or mostly do they save it in a wallet or an exchange? Is it used in the proper way that you would deem as a currency, or is it very early stage? And if it is used as currency, who accepts Litecoin today? What kind of merchants do that accept for WikiLeaks?
Yeah, it's definitely very early stage. Litecoin today is close to like Bitcoin 3 years ago. So there are merchants that accept Litecoin, but there aren't that many. And most Litecoin is traded on exchanges. People like to speculate on Litecoin. It's traded quite a bit. And obviously, it's also a good store of value, so a lot of people just hold on to it. In terms of kind of the cryptocurrency space, even Bitcoin is still very early stage. People aren't really using Bitcoin to buy stuff yet. Right now, it's still finding its position in the marketplace, in society.
Yeah, that's true. And what is the potential of blockchain technology itself when it pertains to, let's say, third world countries? Because I've done a lot of study about how the blockchain and $5 smartphones can really connect these people into the global economy for the first time, and they can be part of what's going on in the world.
Yeah, well, the cryptocurrency, what it allows is for anyone to pretty much pay anyone else anywhere in the world, right? Previously, with your traditional payment methods like credit cards, it's really hard for a merchant in Africa, for a small mom and pop shop in Africa, to sell things online to someone in the US, because you just can't send them money. But with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Litecoin, you can now send anyone money. You just have to have a Bitcoin address or a Litecoin address, and you can send money to them. So that brings out a lot of potential of people being able to transact globally.
Yeah, that's true. And last week we saw the launch of the first ever blockchain publicly traded company. Is this a step in the right direction, a bridge inviting more investors, traditional investors, to look at the innovative entrepreneurship behind blockchain?
Yeah, so which company are you referring to?
Specifically, this company is called Hive Blockchain Technologies, but we will see many more companies use the publicly traded route and get involved in either mining or some other aspect of the blockchain. But the idea behind this is to get a bridge between the publicly traded markets that hold the majority of investors to take a look at this new world the crypto world and what it has to offer. It shines a light on the entire sector.
Yeah, I think what will actually connect Bitcoin to the traditional financial market is something like an ETF. And I'm really looking forward to the first ETF that gets approved where people can easily buy and hold a Bitcoin ETF and be exposed to the Bitcoin price without actually needing to learn how to secure their own Bitcoins. I think that would be a huge breakthrough.
Obviously, ETFs are the most popular vehicles for most part-time investors. Have you ever been approached, if you don't mind me asking, in a positive or a negative threatening way by any government regarding Litecoin?
Not yet, and hopefully never.
Okay, well, that's good. Do you think it makes sense to back cryptocurrencies that are digital with any tangible item, or fix the price of a cryptocurrency, by programming it in advance so it will be a stable currency? Because none of the cryptocurrencies are currently currencies. Why do I say this? Because let's say you want to order a cup of coffee in New York. It has $1 price to it. It will not change tomorrow because the dollar moves. But if you want to pay with Bitcoin, they will calculate by the second that you're buying this coffee, the price in Bitcoin. So it doesn't have a Bitcoin price. It doesn't have a fixed Bitcoin price because they're moving and they're, obviously they're much more volatile. Do you think it is a prudent move to fix the price of a cryptocurrency?
I do think it will be useful. There is a cryptocurrency. Actually, there are a few. There's one called Tether, which is a company that backs the Tether cryptocurrency with US dollar held by them. And that's pretty stable. I think governments will start to have to release their own cryptocurrencies backed by their own fiat currency. I think that will come, and it will be useful. It's a little bit different from like Bitcoin and Litecoin, where it's decentralized and uncensorable, but it will have its use.
Interesting. Well, Charles, what is the most interesting thing that you're looking at right now that you want our listeners to pay attention to research a little more? What's the next phase in the cryptocurrency world?
The next phase, I would say, is Lightning networks. Right now, both Bitcoin and Litecoin have passed SegWit, have activated SegWit, which is a new technology that allows for something called Lightning networks. Lightning networks is kind of a layer 2 solution built on top of the base protocol that allows for instantaneous transactions with low fees. And this is something that would help Bitcoin and Litecoin scale and help them become used more for payments. Interesting.
Well, Charles, hey, thank you very much for being with us. I really appreciate you taking the time here. And could you tell everyone exactly where they can take a look at Litecoin?
Yeah, so Litecoin.com and Litecoin.org are two sites dedicated to Litecoin. The .org site is more for the development of Litecoin. And the easiest and best way to buy Litecoin is to use Coinbase.com, or if you want to use an exchange, GDAX.com is also really good.
Charles Lee, founder of Litecoin, thank you very much.
Thanks, Lear.